Hey everybody, I am in a place, I think it's a third world country. We just had a power outage, so I'm trying to do this from the public, and I found a little quiet spot with internet, but I hope it's good. Thank you TND Tesla and everybody for joining. Let's make this quick. I don't know how long I have this little place for. Anyway, let's cover what happened this week. A lot of weird stuff. Yes, the market action sucks. Bitcoin sucks. Altcoins suck. Solana sucks. I'm aware of all that, but it's the weekend. Weekends are volatile, especially around the Christmas holiday where volumes can be tight and light, and that opens it up to market maker manipulation. But let's get into the story. What happened this week? And this is not financial advice. Thank you to everybody on Patreon. First of all, despite you would believe the world is ending, Bitcoin is still up 1% for the month of December, barely, still positive. And it's been, again, started off with a bang and then fell down to earth. But let's try to find out what's going on. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin black hole, look at some on-chain data, look at some ETF flows, and figure out where we are. First of all, we've had two pretty bad red days so far this month. And we had a record huge amount of money flow in the whole month of December. But again, a little bit of caution. Much of this is driven by Jerome Powell. He managed to tank the markets. But we covered that 2 days ago. But despite that, we are still positive $5.4 billion into Bitcoin in December. Only 2 red days. So the world is not ending just yet. You can see as well here, we had very interesting 4 big spikes down since day 200. Again, the amount of money in is higher than ever before, and the drawdowns, the pullbacks, are also worse than ever before. We had 4 since day 210. We only had 1 this bad back around day 75. So it's been weird. Again, a lot of money coming in, but sometimes a lot of money is withdrawn when a lot of money comes in too. And despite all of this, 4,000 Bitcoin were purchased this week by the 9 ETFs, which is pretty staggering. Anyway, let's get into it. Hey, Sean, thank you for joining. Let's talk about Bitcoin demand. This is surging. This is from CryptoQuant. And what's interesting here is one of the things that we look at is the OTC desks. These are the desks that have Bitcoin that enable people like Sailor to go and buy Bitcoin. And yeah, you can see here the OTC desks are dropping in their balance. You can see they had the largest monthly inventory decline of 2024, falling 26,000 Bitcoin. This is because companies like Hut 8, like Maartunn, like MicroStrategy, they are all buying, as well as the ETFs. Again, 40,000 Bitcoin down since November 20th. And this is beginning to be a little bit of a tighter supply. So this is a positive sign that momentum could be building for the space. But let's get into more stuff too. Now, liquidations were bad over the last week. A lot of people got wrecked. A lot of people got liquidated. That's just the nature of the business. But everybody take a breath. Over the last 7 days, long positions worth 216 million were liquidated on top of 3 exchanges. I think it was Binance, Bybit, and OKX. However, this is 15 times fewer liquidations than compared to the 2021 liquidation cluster. So you can see here on the chart, yes, it was bad, but nowhere near as bad as what it was in 2021. And that's very, very important to bear in mind. And just to prove I'm here, by the way, I should kind of show my face. Here I am in a public place. Anyway, just want to let you know this is real. It's not AI. Also, weekend rumor section, a new section. This is from Mike Alfred. You could call it the hopium hit of the day. But he said, I just got a call from the most connected person I know in Bitcoin. And he said the biggest player in the market globally is buying Bitcoin in a TWAP, VWAP this weekend with the goal of finishing by Monday morning. Do not tell me I didn't warn you. Consider this your final warning. Yes, Bitcoin is weak right now. I don't know how true this is. But I hear you asking, what is a TWAP, VWAP? Sounds weird. Well, this is how big players use these methods to basically break a big buy into smaller pieces spread out over time or based on how much Bitcoin is being traded, which would be volume. So T is the TWAP, volume, and the T is the time WAP, and V is the volume WAP. And this means they can grab a big bag, like slicing a big salami into little pieces and eating slowly instead of all at once. And this causes the price not to react. It helps them keep the market calm and helps keep their buying a secret. By the way, it could also be Sailor. I believe Sailor has purchased every single week so far over the last 6 weeks, and that will probably continue. I expect him to announce a buy on Monday morning as well. In addition, we have MicroStrategy joining QQQ on Monday morning too. So a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes, although it doesn't appear that way when you look at market prices. Anyhow, another good news. This is from Sminston. He says, we're nowhere near the top, folks. And this is a chart of his. And it looks at what they call a decay channel model with different asymptotes based on different laws. And per Sminston's chart, he believes we could go as high as 175,000 to 230,000 this time around. And this chart predicts the price based on different models like decay channel, also scarcity, also growth on the network. And we shall see if it's correct, but that would be jolly nice indeed. No guarantee it'll happen. Either way, it's been an incredible bull run. But people want more, so we'll see if that'll happen. And another Bitcoin news as well. This is from Maartunn. The supply held by short-term holders hits 5.4 million Bitcoin. This is the highest level in 40 months. And the key takeaways here are short-term holder supply typically rises during bull runs. So we're in a bull run, that's confirmed. And the multi-year downtrend in short-term holder supply has ended. But I do believe as well, a lot of this short-term holder supply is driven by the fact that you have ETFs buying a huge amount of Bitcoin and the long-term holders selling. And you have also massive stacking by, again, Maartunn, MicroStrategy, Hut 8, and others all across the board. So we'll see. And this is from James Van Straten. Just looking at where we are in the current cycle, he believes we are in a similar pattern to 2015, 2018. Focus on the little red box in the middle. That's where we are. The black line is where we are in this process. And you can see here, sometimes we consolidate a little bit through the end of December to the beginning of January, and then we move up fast. We'll see if that is the case. The short-term holder realized price continues to climb. It's now at 84,000, and it's very similar to a setup we had in the past. And we could get a little correction from here. We're probably in the correction. There's also another big event happening on the 20th of January. That's the US presidential inauguration. And that could also trigger some more action and fireworks. So we'll see how this all pans out. Also, another view of the cycle progress. And I zoomed into the little pink arrow on the left so you can see exactly where we are. But we are higher than previous cycles, and we're in the range of previous cycles too. So things are progressing nicely. Nothing is abnormal so far. The point, though, is after this, if history repeats, we have a long way to go, ladies and gentlemen. Whichever cycle you pick, you go orange, you go yellow, you go teal, we have a long way to go. Teal, I think, is, again, I actually read that number, but I think that is the 2012 cycle, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, the point is more to go. And funding rates are positive, but compared to, again, history like 2021, 2020, they are a lot lower, which indicates that investors are cautious. This also shows you how much more cautious they are this time around compared to previous cycles where a lot of people got wrecked in 2021. So again, traders are less active and avoiding high-risk behavior observed in the past. So we'll see if that continues. Now, something else is going on. Maybe this is some Christmas shopping. But a huge amount, $1.3 billion almost, was sent to spot exchanges just a few hours ago. And this is the highest single transaction nearly this year of stablecoins going onto exchanges. Why do they put stablecoins onto exchanges? The answer is to buy stuff, to buy crypto. Which ones? I'm not sure. Could that be related to the rumor we mentioned at the beginning? I'm not sure. We shall wait and see. Now, speaking of stablecoins, this was from Shamath from the All In podcast from Autism Capital. Great follow on Twitter, by the way. But he talks about how SpaceX uses stablecoins for collecting payments from Starlink customers across the world, across the planet, especially in countries with less developed banking systems, financial systems, or big foreign exchange risk. And this is so neat. They convert local payments into stablecoins to avoid foreign exchange risks and the complexities of international wire transfers. And once these stablecoins reach the United States, they are converted back into US dollars. And this is very useful, what some people refer to as long-tail countries, where payment methods are less reliable and very costly, a lot of friction in the banking system in these parts of the world. So again, yet another use case for stablecoins. And I will take a pause here. What is also kind of fascinating is the amount of discussion with the new administration that's coming into office. So much talk around crypto. And players, heavy involvement of Silicon Valley players like Peter Thiel, Chamath, David Sachs, Mark Andreessen, you name it. They are all involved. They are all adjacent to crypto, and they're all working with the new administration. I think something big is going to happen in crypto in 2025. These VCs do not circle around like sharks unless there's blood in the water. And I think that blood is crypto blood, but in a good sense, everybody. Bluegrass Stoic, thank you so much for coming. Now, liquidity as well. This is one thing a lot of people look at and they believe, well, liquidity is falling, global liquidity, therefore the Bitcoin price is going to fall, normally within a 70-day lag. But what's interesting, though, is liquidity has been falling for quite some time and the Bitcoin price continues to go up. So maybe the correlation is breaking down, and maybe the buying action from all the large players into Bitcoin is far exceeding the impact of liquidity in the past. So we shall see. It's not a very reliable indicator. Some people swear by it. I personally don't. And although liquidity does help, of course, getting ready for Monday morning, we saw a huge spike in volume towards the close of business on Friday for MicroStrategy. And that is because it's getting added to the QQQ on Monday morning. Much of the addition will happen, probably already did in aftermarket Friday and also in pre-market on Monday. So watch this space for some volatility. And despite Bitcoin weakness, MicroStrategy is up still about $6 in after hours. Again, adding to QQQ on Monday, which will be big for the asset. And base. Speaking of things blowing up, this is an article from Defiant. And they refer to how base is blowing up, averaging 4.7 million new monthly users. This is now by far the most adopted layer 2 on Ethereum. And also it is doing most of the action on Ethereum too, including all the other layer 2s. But to put things in perspective, yes, I know Solana price sucks. Yep, but Solana has blown up a lot more than any other chain this year by far. And 2/3 of all transactions in all of crypto across 30,000 tokens happens on the Solana blockchain, which is pretty staggering. Now, in other news as well, there's some changes happening out there in Zurich, actually. Charles H. wants his whatever foundation organization for Cardano to move out of Switzerland, but also Switzerland is home to a lot of crypto experts, especially in places like Zurich and Zug. And the ETH Zurich experts are now joining ANZA to spearhead Solana protocol research. These are folks that used to advise Ethereum from a group called Consensus. They are all jumping ship and all moving over to Solana, which will be interesting to see what happens down the line. But again, what does that signal? I'll let you guess. I'll let you be the judge of that. A little bit of Tesla news here. Jeff Lutz, friend of the channel, fellow Cyberbull, he talks about his 3.5-ton Cybertruck driving itself downtown Chicago streets, then bringing itself to the expressway, and then transitioning to the suburbs in an indescribable experience on FSD version 13.2.1. It merged and lane changed better than I do, and he wants to do a video and live stream. And somebody asked him, Tesla Yoda asked him, is as incredible as when you tried ChatGPT? And Jeff says, way better than that. And coincidentally, I came to where I am sitting right now in a Cybertruck driven by FSD as I was trying to sniff out electricity and internet. Two things that are rare where I am right now. And Joe, thank you so much. And just to prove I'm live, still here. Thank you all for coming. Now, that was Jeff on FSD. Speaking of other stocks too, Michael Burry has been all in on China pretty much most of this year, and he believes that's where the next action is. And remember, Michael Burry is not always right. Yes, in 2006, 2007, he was right about the mortgage crisis, but he's been wrong a lot as well, especially with his forecasts around the S&P 500 and other things. However, he has been going all in on Baba. I got into Alibaba last year, late 2023, but now this is by far his biggest position. So I hope he's right. He's overdue for a win. But anyway, he increased his exposure to different Chinese companies. Alibaba is said to be the eBay of China. He increased his stake by 30%. JD, the Amazon of China, he increased his shares by 100%. And Baidu, the Google of China, he increased his shares by about 60 or 70% as well. So he is going all in on China. He sees that where the action is. And a little security warning, watch your keys. Private keys compromise the largest share of stolen crypto. Keep your keys. Nearly half of all crypto is stolen because people divulge their keys or their keys are stolen. So if you do self-storage, please keep your keys safe. A little bit of political macro news. We had an incredible week in the US government where one man called Elon Musk tweeted about a huge pork bill, over 1,500 pages of spending long, and ripped it apart using things like AI and the Twitter platform, X platform. But now the government officials, the lawmakers, the spenders are having huge meltdowns from Elizabeth Warren, famous in crypto. And she is complaining about how the influence from the outside from people like Elon Musk can stop them from reckless spending. And even this other guy, Bernie Sanders, had a huge meltdown as well regarding this exact issue. I think it's an amazing time to be alive, to see how transparency and openness can be very dangerous to how governments are run. And I hope for more of this as well. And this is a brilliant, brilliant piece from Warren Buffett, the legend, from Nancy Pelosi, stock trader, and Elon even liked it. Years ago, Warren Buffett's solution to all of this government spending is anytime there's a deficit of 3% of GDP, all sitting members of Congress are ineligible for re-election. That would change the spending. That's what needs to be done. The best solutions are the simplest solutions. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Sorry about the electricity outage and where I am and everything else, but I hope you heard everything loud and clear. Eric, thanks all for coming. Thank you once again to Sean Donnelly and T&D Tesla and the whole gang that are here. I'll be back tomorrow at noon Pacific for the live Q&A. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe. Bye.